Srinadi Godrej, Mr. Rupesh Agarwal, my colleagues in the department, Dr. John Joseph, Bani, dear friend, Mr. Sanjay Bhatia, Mr. Chandrasekhar, dignitaries of the diocese. Mr. Jayant mentioned today is a momentous day in his opening remarks. It's not only a momentous day, I think it's a very auspicious day. Auspicious in the sense, today is also the World's Health Day. Health, we normally talk of human health. I would rather expand this canvas to ecosystem health, environmental health, which would include the social, economic, cultural, whatever framework of life it can be. So what a day for Ailbiea to celebrate its anniversary event on an occasion, the Health Day. Anniversary. I start with this. Anniversary. Why anniversary? What we learn from anniversaries. Why important? What does anniversary behold for us? Anniversary would mean an opportunity to look back as to what you have realized since you celebrated your last anniversary, where you moved on, what's the way ahead. It gives us a sense of introspection. I was here at the last Ailbiea anniversary event, April 1, 2016, and I'm sure my friends in Ailbiea would have definitely introspected, seen where they've moved forward, what was the calendar prescribed for them, how much they've attained, and how they want to go ahead with it. In fact, on a lighter note, I would rather say, anniversary is nothing more but a notch in your abdominal belts that you wear. You know, the belt, every notch is very important, very significant. The notch tells you where you were last time, where you are heading for. So that's exactly what is the purport of an anniversary. In fact, that notch, where it exists, is indeed more valuable than what has preceded it, and perhaps heading for what is more to come. So that's the notch which helps you stay put in times of adversity. It helps you withstand the adverse environments and know what correct course correction is required. A word about the doyen of the evening, the doyen of the ceremony, Shri M.P. Taparia ji. Sir, you are the doyen of plastic and polymer industries. You've been a very leading processor of plastics. I think you would have a rare distinction of perhaps being the longest continuous serving managing director. 50 years today, a Golden Jubilee celebrations. So again, an auspicious moment, I say. With turnover of a few thousand crores, pan-India presence, thousands of employees, handling several thousand tons, million tons of polymers, no mean feat for such a long, long career. Wish you many, many more years, much more in future as well, sir. In fact, everybody would like to succeed, but as far as you are concerned, when somebody would look back at you, they would say, an innovative leader, somebody, a trusted person who made a meaningful difference to the life of millions of people around, both in India as well as abroad. Congratulations to you, sir. My dear friend Jayant, I can't miss this occasion without a word for you. Very warm, affable, cheerful, pragmatic, rational, analytical ability to the hilt, capable of handling difficult situations. Whatever adjectives I may like, I think would be much less. For my friends here, I may say it was for these virtues that your ever-standing president for the last 18 years was conferred this year, the WCO Certificate of Merit by the CBEC. It's thus multifarious reasons why the occasion is very, very auspicious today. Another thing, Ailbiea, everybody knows, plays a very prominent role. I've seen personally Mr. Jain Lapsea taking pains to focus vociferously, dogged determination on the various pain points that confront the industry today. He doggedly pursues it, sees they come to a quick solution. That is it. Sir, today your association, this body, is in the last of the teens. From the last of the teens, now you become an adult. Responsibilities will galore. Responsibilities will multiply. All the best for many such endeavors to come in future. Ailbiea, one noteworthy thing, has been pivotal in bringing on a common platform the various stakeholders, the regulators, the administrators, the service providers. And that's one important aspect of this function that he organizes, bringing about a lot of bonhomie, camaraderie, and in turn, setting up an environment, setting up a year-long agenda for a favorable outcome for the industry per se. Having said all this, Mr. Chandrasekhar gave us an oversight of the general economic scenario. I would rather not repeat it now. Suffice to say, India is now on the high table of world economic leaders. We get our rightful place. Our voice is heard with attention and taken seriously. Why all this? Because our economy matters. We are the fastest growing economy in the world today. Maybe the corpus is small compared to other giant economies, but I can tell you, time is not far off. In another 5 years, we shall be top 3 potent economies in the world. There's no doubt about it. Our infrastructure today is developing at a very fast pace. We have a huge youth dividend. We export intelligentsia across the world. So it's all positive for India to come in course of time now. Nothing can stop us. It's our moment. It's our march today. People overseas invest in India today. Why? Because they want to reap, harvest out of this India's growth story, and they want to be a partner in the growth story of our nation. Having said this, how does it concern liquid bulk cargo? Phenomenally, yes. But before that, let me still dwell a bit on the ambitious schemes that the government of India the central government has today envisaged over the last 2 years. We have the very ambitious Make in India program. We have the Startup India. We have the Digital India. We have the smart cities. Many, many, many more. Could be hundreds more. Why all this? Because all this is leading to rapid urbanization, rapid industrialization, tremendous phenomenal growth in manufacturing sector. And I'm sure all these schemes will definitely boost investment, manufacturing, as well as spur growth. The national manufacturing policy aims somewhere at increasing the manufacturing base from about 12 to 14% per annum. So that's a very, very substantive task, a very, very tall order cut out for the government. Digital India. It's actually, I would say it is CDS. C for creation of a digital infrastructure. D for dissemination or delivery of digitalized services. And S for spreading digital literacy. This is what is it. So this together is going to come in handy. Coming back to liquid bulk now, in this contextual framework, let me share some statistics. Liquid bulk comprises 37% of total import cargo in the country. As far as Mumbai port is concerned, in volume terms, it's 62%. As far as JNCH is concerned, JNPT is concerned, it's about 11%, 10.7. Now, at Mumbai port, POL products registered a growth of 4.2% from 23.7 million tons previous year to 24.7 million tons this year. The non-POL products registered a growth of 15% from 1.93 million tons to 2.3 million tons. In the overall basket of 62% by volume, aren't these growth figures stupendous? Aren't these growth figures conveying to us a picture that is for all of us to see in time to come? Even the revenue share, as far as customs is concerned for Mumbai port, has shown a growth of 4% as the liquid bulk cargo port is concerned, from 1865 crores to 1945 crores. So these are tidings on the wall, are pretty rosy, and I have no doubt about it, that liquid bulk shall be one of the engines of growth, drivers of growth in time to come. Liquid bulk, by its very nature, would have peculiarity of issues. Issues could be, with whatever sector it is concerned, there have to be. But we need to overcome them, we need to manage them. There could be infrastructure constraints in terms of storage capacity, transit movement of cargo, hazardous cargo, corrosive cargo, inflammable cargo, all kinds of cargo. You have to have all the precautions. You have to be in readiness. Unfortunately, in India, the coastal cargo system is yet to develop. Yes, there are signs of improvement. Government has initiated some steps. Last year, the CBEC also issued some measures very recently. But these will take time as it develops. So, with the inherent problems like leakages, seepages, evaporation, vaporization losses, these are some considerations which environmentally as well as economically perhaps cannot be turned a Nelson's eye. We really need to have and address them head on. There would be problems in other sector also. Terminals would have their own problems. Contamination could be one problem. You would have to ensure that, first of all, the vessels are clean, they are ready for accepting. There could be times, there could be problems in terms of dwell time, waiting time, turnaround time, all sorts of issues could be there. So we have to handle them hammer on. As far as the customs is concerned, in view of what is happening across the country, expectations of the trade from the department are also phenomenal, and rightly so. They should be. On behalf of the department, I can assure the trade here that we are ever prepared, perhaps better than ever, to meet all your demands, all your challenges legitimately, justiciably. I can assure each one of you present here. For us in the department, difficulties don't mean impossible. Difficulties only mean that we have to work a little harder, think innovatively, and perhaps put in a little more greater effort. With these ends, the department has initiated a lot of steps, taken a lot of series of steps. Since we are on a forum of liquid bulk, I start with what is of prime concern for the liquid bulk, the warehouse. Last year, all of you are aware, we rationalized our warehouse procedures. We simplified them to tremendous extents. Physical controls were done away with. Escort under physical supervision of a customs officer was done away with. You could move your goods from warehouse to one warehouse, from warehouse to port on your own. First 12 months, you were not required to tender any bank guarantee while you were storing your cargo. Double lock systems were given up. License renewals, thing of past. Having taken a license, it was for all times to come, for perpetuity. These were some significant giant strides. Some of you have definitely initiated and calibrated your response also accordingly, but I would still say that full potential of these leverages that the department has rendered in the past are still yet to be availed of by the industry as such. Mr. Jayant mentioned about ease of doing business. It's not only a buzzword, it's our driving spirit today. In each and every action of the department, what drives our philosophy is ease of doing business. Today, India stands at the cusp of a very radical taxation reform, indirect taxation reform, the GST. With the parliament having passed 4 bills yesterday, the CGST, Central GST, the Union Territory GST, the Compensation Bill, and the IGST Bill, the Integrated GST. Believe you me, the target date for GST is ever real than ever. It is in all certainty going to happen on 1st of July this year. That will be a paradigm change as far as business is conducted today. It will be a win-win situation for trade as well as the administrators. One nation, one tax, one market philosophy would drive the ethos, and I'm sure it is going to push the economic growth of the country in the immediate by somewhere close to about more than 1 percentage point of GDP, and in the long run, phenomenally driving us towards what I said in the next 5 years, be amongst the top 3 economies of the world. As far as customs is concerned, we brought about a revamped authorized economic operators program. It ensures a secured supply chain end to end. Depending upon the level of authorized economic operator, you get lots of benefits. You get speedier clearances. You are not required to tender bank guarantees. You are eligible for faster refunds, early drawback, what not. And not only that, on the basis of the MRAs, the mutual recognition agreement signed with the country of export, you would get similar incentives. Your partner, the other side, would get similar benefits. So this is a situation which, this is a proposition which, if any of you are in this hall are not AEOs, you must become AEOs. And believe me, qualifying marks are only 5 documents in a year. So anybody and everybody, I am sure, present inside this hall would be eligible. At least try, give it a chance. There should be no hesitation about it. Another radical change that we brought about last year was the single window interface for facilitation of trade, what is popularly called as SWIFT. We brought about 6 user agencies: the animal quarantine, the plant quarantine, the wildlife, the drug controller, the FSI, and the textile committee, all on a single platform. You are not supposed to be running to the offices now for getting your clearances therefrom. The document itself would move, and systems have now stabilized completely. Less than 24 hours, you get your clearances. And many, many more government departments are in the process of being added thereto. We have introduced this to exports also. Mr. Jayant mentioned about a lot of reforms at Nhava Sheva also. One of the very significant reforms at Nhava Sheva that has been done in recent times is the direct port delivery, the DPD. I call it W2W. As you have the B2B, B2C, C2B, etc. This is W2W, wharf to warehouse movement of cargo. So simplified. Your cargo lands alongside the bay. Straight away you take it to your factory, put it into production. So real-time inventory. It cuts down the capital costs. And faster rollover of not only money, but also the product in question. So, then we have very recently also brought about the trade facilitation agreement after the requisite number, 2/3 member countries of the International Customs Body acceded to the same. This will ensure that the movement of cargo is expedited, the release, the clearances of cargo in a given time frame, and it will further ease the doing business in the country. I can go on and on. There are a large number of measures. For example, the drawbacks, brand rate fixation, we simplified that process. Paperless customs, we brought about a common invoice and packing list. We've recently done away with, in view of green customs, non-requirement of printing of the export promotion copy of the shipping bill, for example, and a host of other measures. The coastal shipping regulations that I mentioned have also undergone some changes to bring down the operational cost, increase efficiency of operations, and of course, from customs perspective, ensure proper border controls. So large number of things the department is doing and is on. Our foot is on the pedal. The car is racing in the 4th gear. It's only for you to catch up and board the seat. I can assure you that. I may add, every moment in a business happens only once. The next Bill Gates, I'm sure, will not make an operating system. The next Harry Page or Sergey Brin will not make a search engine. The next Mark Zuckerberg will not create a social network. So seize on the moment, seize the opportunity, and make the best of it. I would like to conclude by drawing your attention to 10 points of success, which Jack Ma had said, the famous Alibaba founder, e-commerce giant in China. What he said? 1, get used to rejection. Keep your dream alive. Ignore the little man. Get inspired. Stay focused. Have a good name. Customers are number 1. Don't complain. Look for opportunities and have passion. I'm also reminded of what Vivekanand had said. Vivekanand had said, don't lower your goals to your abilities. Rather, raise your abilities to the height so that they can attain the goals. Thank you so much.